This podcast was produced on the land of the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation.
Welcome to Australia.
This is kind of tragic.
Someone who is such a connoisseur of reality television.
The content is hideous.
So sorry about this. Oh my god.
Oh my god. Daniel Tan. Hi.
Hey.
Hey girl. Welcome to The Cringe is Real.
I feel this is the most famous I felt since my interviews for another reality show.
Do tell. What show?
I was almost a groom on MAFS.
Fuck off. No.
Yeah.
And then they realised that you're too sane and
No.
a normal person, and they were like, she can't be on the show. We need
Sure,
mental,
yeah, I'm
mental
so sane.
unbalance.
For all the other guys listening out there, I'm very sane and I'm very normal.
Oh my god. This year?
No, it was like 2 seasons ago.
Wow.
With that gay couple.
Okay.
They were going to have a second gay couple.
I still haven't seen that season.
They're the worst.
Everyone tells me to. It's like one of them's a hairstylist or something.
He was so hot.
Was he? The long hair one.
Yeah.
Of course they would love you because you're a makeup artist, and they could further their...
I also wanted some of the Melbourne girls at the wedding.
What? Amazing.
Yeah.
But they love to be like, gays can only be one of two things, hairstylists or makeup artists. 'Cause
And
that's
we
how-
are.
And it's true.
We are.
Yeah. Thank you, Channel 9.
I'm training you after this.
Yes, it's true. I'm starting my short course.
It's a day's worth of eye content. Just,
Imagine if that happened. Wow. Yeah.
So, yeah, I think this is how I feel,
So you feel.
So,
You got to like interview stage. They were doing...
oh, yeah, I got like...
They were doing
Yeah.
confessionals.
No, we were like deep interviews.
Okay.
And they told me a few things of like, oh, we want to bring like a second gay couple in. And I was like,
That could have been like messy fun.
yeah, but I was like, I'm enough.
Yeah. Oh, you were like, if I'm going to be on it, I want to be the only gay in the village.
Yeah, just bring me
Totally,
on. I'll
yeah.
pull a shoe.
As if they were going to do two
Yeah.
at a time.
Well,
They're not ready for that.
no, when I asked them, I was
Yeah.
like, because I remember I was talking to Miss Chiavello while I was
Yes.
interviewing, and she's like, just ask some questions. So I was like, great, I'll ask more questions. And I remember
I
asking
love that
them,
you got a Lydia pep talk. This is so good.
I remember asking them, like, why do you want to bring a second couple in? And they're like, oh, we want to, will you guys like mesh well, like as a like friends? And
You all know each other already, yeah? From the gay meetups. You've all fucked, right?
And I just remember like thinking, you want a cheating scandal.
Yes.
And I mean, that's showbiz, baby.
And they need backups as well, right? I've heard of
Yeah.
heaps of people being...
They pull out last
Ready
minute.
to go.
Someone's like in.
Yeah. I have a
So-
friend who I won't name that's been on a show that I won't name, but like he's said this happens to him every time. It's like gets to the point and then they're like, you're coming on next week. And then he's been burned like so many times. And I'm like,
That's
"Oh, It's
awful.
my worst nightmare. Imagine getting so excited. Like, yeah, low key telling some people, even though you're not supposed to, that you're on a show.
I wasn't ready. If it was going to happen, I wasn't ready. I don't have a 6-pack or a V.
You need to get cut for tally.
I need to get cut to potentially get cut last minute.
Yeah. Yes. Did you watch this year's?
Of course.
Oh, amazing. Good.
No, well,
I loved this year. It
Every
was
single
great.
year, I'm like, I'm not doing another season.
Yes.
I am going to watch the weddings and just to see who's on it. And then I go, okay, that was good. I'm going to watch the dinner parties.
Heaven.
And then it goes from that to, fine, I'll see who leaves. And then it goes from that to me watching every, like, 4 nights a week. And I'm
Yeah,
like,
I know.
There's another season done.
I know. I did the same. I tried to resist, and then this year I got sucked in. But it was
But only by
fun.
Jackie.
Jackie was truly just like a gift from up above.
Chaos, like the crying and then just wiping, like, smiles next minute. I love her.
Oh, she's incredible. We need her on
She's the
every
definition
show.
of showbiz, baby.
Yeah, put her on every show. Like, I don't even care what it is. I want her in the jungle. I want her...
She would thrive.
She would
She'd be swinging from a
thrive.
vine.
Yep. She would thrive with like a eating bugs situation.
Crying, but like wipe away
be
a smile.
amazing. I don't know. Put her on all of it. I want to see her racing around the world with what's his name, the golfer?
Clint.
Clint. Yeah. Are they still doing well? I wish.
I
them
think
well.
so.
In Tassie,
I think so.
she saw
never
his.
been.
She saw his bank balance and she was like, "We'll move to Tassie."
I'm totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Oh, Jackie. So you mentioned Ms. Schiavello,
Yes.
who you.
Well, that's how we met.
Yes, that is how we met. We met at the.
Let me ask you. So, how did we meet?
We met at the at the infamous Lydia Christmas party.
Yeah.
Which is so good.
It was so fun.
And you obviously do her makeup.
Yeah, I've been doing her makeup for. God. When did season 2 of Melbourne film?
Oh fuck! I don't know.
2014.
Wow!
15?
Oh my god!
Yeah, like
Wow.
I met. So I got brought onto that show by Petty Fleur.
Shut up.
Petty Fleur was a
Amazing.
customer of mine back when I worked at Mac in the city.
Yeah.
And PF worked at the. She lived
at
in the city.
That's right. The penthouse.
Yeah,
Starring with
yeah.
The Western. Yeah.
Yeah, and so she was a customer of mine, and then she made me come to hers at 5 a.m. That like one of the days, and she wouldn't tell me what it was for.
Oh yeah.
And I got there, and I could see camera crew setting up, and I'm thinking, Housewives?
Yeah.
Because I had only seen like half of season 1,
Yeah. Right.
and then I stuck with her for the whole season of filming. Met a few of the girls throughout. Me and Lydia got along really well at one of these things. And then I remember I got absolutely shit-faced at the finale party.
Yes.
Like,
For season 2.
oh yeah.
Fuck. That is
Yeah.
so good.
Like, I was disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And then making sure I got behind all the girls in their big main shots. So if you look at like the party, I'm behind them, like trying to keep my eyes open.
That's great.
The
hustle.
Yeah, I was working hard.
And were you a fan of the show before that happened?
Not really.
Okay, cool.
Like I'd seen it, but I hadn't.
Yeah. And then, so that's what kind of got you like right into it.
Yeah,
I love
and then
that.
then they stopped filming,
Yes.
and then
Did they
Lydia
ever?
called me a few times.
Yeah.
To like come and do her makeup, and so I was like on and off with her while doing Petty Fleur, and you know then Andrea Moss came out of the woodworks, and
Mandria.
I love her.
Really?
She's
Tell me.
the most. She's so generous and so lovely.
Amazing. Okay, that's good to hear.
Like in lockdown, she messaged me on Instagram and was like, "How are you doing? Like,
Aw,
you going well?" And I was like, "No,
That's
I'm
nice.
not. It's lockdown."
She's the only one I've never had any contact with of any kind.
And she sent me a full range of Liberty Bell skincare through lockdown.
Liberty Bell.
It's good.
Fuck.
Yeah. But like,
Maybe I'll
you
get
know,
Andrea
and she
on
didn't
the
have to
pod.
do that. Like I'd met her twice.
Yeah. Wow.
So, and then, yeah, me and Lydia stuck through all the years.
Yeah.
I only saw her the night before she went overseas, like last
cute.
week
Amazing.
she needed fresh lashes.
And you're still doing her makeup, obviously, and
Yeah.
some of the other girlies.
And
every now
Simone,
and then.
now that she lives around the corner from me.
I love Simone. I met Simone
At the-
recently
yeah,
in Sydney.
I listened to that podcast.
She was heaven.
Yeah.
And she thought she could just like sneak into this party. and
Well, I
get-
did her makeup for that party.
Oh, amazing. She looked great. You should have come. Why were you not there?
I wasn't invited.
Are you joking?
No.
Bitch. We'll talk later. She looked so good, and she thought she could just be there and we would just leave her alone. And I was like, no. I was like, sorry, Miss
No.
Simone, I have some gays here.
Yeah,
that
she got a
would
fresh
like
face
to
for
speak
it.
to you. And she was heaven.
She's
with a little dance.
So lovely. Like, she's a girl's girl.
Yeah.
And a gay's girl.
We need her back. If and when, praise be, Melbourne is to return to our screens, I think we need Simone back. She needs another go.
Yeah. I think she, out of all those new cast, was the only one that like kind of felt real.
Yeah.
And also she's been like around those like the other girls for years.
Yeah.
Like, you know, her and her sister are like, they've been around that group.
Yeah, and because like her and Jackie seem close.
Yeah.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
And did you do Bethany's makeup?
No,
when
I
she
was
here?
meant
No.
to.
What happened?
So I got the email from her team because like maybe 3 months out of like before she was flying here
Yeah.
to do that show. And then
What was that show? Did anyone go to this show?
I looked on Reddit and then got half booked out.
Okay, because I've asked every guest that comes on when they go off on about Bethany, I'm like, did you go to the show? And they're always like, no.
The tickets were cheap.
What was it?
I should've
Was
gone.
it like a life coachy type thing?
No, I think it was like
business?
an evening.
Oh.
An evening with.
Oh, no.
I mean,
The
I can think
Countess
of
style?
I can
Was
think
there
of better
songs?
evenings I would rather.
Yeah.
Um,
So you were all set to go, and then last minute
and then I realized like it was in my calendar.
they did a Nicole on you.
With a little Wi-Fi. No, I realized, and then I realized like I didn't have any like set time, location, all that. So I followed up, and then they were just like, "Oh no, like the agency who's bringing her over have organized someone else. We thought we were organizing it."
Right.
So I got cut last minute.
Once again,
Once again, got cut.
first MAFS
And
now.
my mum
Bethany.
always said, "If
Wow.
you're not first, you're last."
Oh,
No.
amazing. So you got me onto this show we're going to discuss today.
Yes.
And we were originally just going to do the one talking about the first season of The Real Housewives of Vancouver.
But you couldn't stop yourself.
I could not stop. This show, I have been like radicalized by this show.
I've told so many people, like, because you're probably like me where you've got friends who have never seen an episode of anything. They might have seen like one or two like clips of it, but they go, where do I start? Like, what will hook me in? And I'm always like, either Beverly Hills season 2,
Okay, yes, yeah.
New York season
I mean,
3,
yeah,
1 to 3.
Yes.
And you need some Alex McCord.
You need Alex.
You know, her little
our girlie.
hives. You need
Have
her
you
like.
met her?
No, I wish.
Is she still in like Byron or wherever? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
We need eyes on.
No,
McCord.
well, she's meant to be back on that
I
Ultimate
know.
Girls trip. Bring it.
Release the tapes.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
always
yeah,
like,
yeah.
start with like, you know, the first 3 seasons in New York or season 1 of Vancouver.
Because my thing now, when I get asked where do I start, my answer at the moment is Salt Lake City and do all of it. Only
Yes.
because it's like, it's manageable for people. There's
Yeah.
not like huge amounts of it, and it's all good.
It's all good. They haven't had a bad season.
No.
And I'm just glad Angie K is like up there. Yeah.
Fucking queen. When she threw those Tresemme bottles, sorry, when they fell out of the bag,
She's
I was
just-
like, you are now the queen.
Yeah, our
this show.
queen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, you know, from bench warmer bitch to front.
Yeah, to front. Yeah, totally.
Front
To
seat.
main snowflake or whatever the fuck. center snowflake.
She deserves it, honestly.
Yeah, no, she does. But Vancouver slept on criminally, and
Yeah.
I myself had done this for years, and it was never even on my radar. I think a few people had mentioned it, and I was like, yeah, and I was kind of
Yeah, I'll
like,
get to
I
it.
think they were Canadian as well, so I assumed there
They
was
would be
like
nice.
healthy bias. Well, that too, and I also assumed as well that they would be too nice.
Yeah.
I was like, as if they're gonna be horrible. Was I ever wrong? I'm gonna.
And what did I tell
Yeah.
you in my first message after I told you to watch it? What did I say about Jody?
I can't remember. You were just like, what do you think
Like,
of Jody?
she's like the nastiest one
Yeah.
out of all
I-
of the franchises.
I think she is safely the most horrible person I've ever seen on television.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
And
she got a second
I'm
season.
including MAFS in this. To give her a second season, and not only, and I mean, we'll get to it next week in our season 2, but not only to give her a second season, but allow her to somehow take control of the show
Oh, yeah.
and spin it around.
Yeah.
Like, she's actually so evil, but like kind of genius.
Yeah. And you know what? Every time I like end up doing some baking at home and like some cupcakes, I always
You've
say to
got the
myself,
recipe.
that's a lot of cupcakes.
And then you go, her face is permanently like
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
Oh my
It's
God. My high level thoughts on this show are, so season 1 was shot in or released in 2012.
It's before it's before its
Boy,
time.
what a time to be alive. Like I live for so firstly, this was back when people on reality TV drank.
Oh,
And these women are wine drunks. constantly.
Well, they had an alcoholic allegedly on that show.
Yeah. I think a few, but it just delighted me. Like watching current seasons now, where everyone's fucking sober and
one little
love and light
glass.
to that. But to see actual just like
Disheveled women
disheveled wine blackout drunks.
Yeah.
It's heaven.
It's
so good. It's giving Janet Roach in Mexico, like,
but for a full season. But also not even like there's a difference between like tequila drunk and wine drunk.
Yeah.
Like I know
Miss
when I
Ronnie.
go to a winery, I don't even know my name halfway through the day, and they're doing that for
they're
like
doing
20
that
episodes
on television.
I wish.
The style of it as well, it's so 2012, and the music and everything. It's just like this whole production. It was incredible. We could not stop watching it. Like,
if I ever get on to MAFS,
yeah,
I will be bringing back Wine Drunk 24 hours a day.
Thank fuck. I hear they like try and pace them and stuff at the dinner parties.
Yeah, but I also know that they don't have aircon in that warehouse, and they film in summer.
Oof.
From two of my friends that were on the show.
Yeah. Also, like, fucking hard working on makeup on that show, because it's like
wouldn't need to do
HD.
makeup.
No, I know you wouldn't, but
yeah.
I'm just saying, like, after that last season, like, Jamie's face.
They all do their own makeup.
Oh, okay. That checks out. But just the HD cameras, that lighting, the no AC in the warehouse, I was like, oh, girl.
Yeah.
I would be
But you
suing.
know what? On Friday night, I was with Ree and Jamie at an event.
What?
Yeah.
And is Jamie fabulous?
Lovely. Amazing.
Great.
Yeah. And I did Ree's makeup 2 weeks ago for another event.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What's she like?
Amazing.
Great.
Yeah. Like, so nice. So, I feel like I'm at that point where you attract the type of people that you want to work with.
If I was Jamie, I would literally be like starting a
looks
class action lawsuit against those camera people because she's so beautiful and they did her so dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's get back to Jody.
Back to Ms. Jody. So let's start with season 1 taglines.
Yes.
So Ronnie is, at this stage of my life, I can afford to say it like it is and look good doing it. Pretty solid.
It's pretty solid. Like, what would you give it out of 10?
Oh, like a 5 or a 6.
Okay.
I think, so Ronnie, I went on a full roller coaster ride with how I felt about Ronnie.
Yeah.
She's kind of, because she's so rich. And she's
I
bored
feel
housewife.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, very bored.
Very bored. She's got
But rich.
so, like, a level of wealth we don't often see on this show. Like,
No.
she owns like half the fucking
Island?
lakefront, like a half an island, 3 properties that are huge up against the lake, the tennis court, the seaplane of it all. I was like, okay, Miss Seaplane.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've already got my favorite out of all of these taglines.
Okay.
But
It's not that one.
no.
But we'll get back to Ronnie. She's fabulous, but dark and twisted.
There's something,
There's
I
something
feel like
broken
with
about Ronnie.
all of these women, there's something dark about them where you're like, oh, I almost feel bad watching you and enjoying how chaotic this is.
Yeah.
But, I mean, you signed up to it.
Oh, true.
So, and if you sign up to something and you know your life is not great in that department, don't sign up for a show.
Yeah. Mary, I traded being a singer for a mom, but now I'm ready to step back into the spotlight. Shit, it's a shit tagline. I'm sorry. The spotlight?
Under, like, what, like, Housewives?
Yeah.
Love.
It's...
And 20 years later, there's 2 gays talking about it on the couch.
Exactly. And then to bring the spotlight into her tagline next year as well. It's just like, oh, okay. How do you feel about Mary?
I like her.
Yeah.
I think there's like a naivety to her where I'm like, oh, she is so sweet and just like, I think she sees the good in everyone.
Yep.
Because she just cries a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, like she's hurt, like that someone's treating her like that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think
I feel bad.
Jody did her a lot of favors in terms of like painting her as this victim
Yeah.
by being such a bully.
Oh, yeah.
And I will be using that word a lot because that is absolutely what happened on this show.
Well, there's no
and there
other
is
way to
no
describe.
denying it. Like, there's no... Yeah, she was absolutely bullied on this show.
Yeah.
More so in season 2, but it's hard to watch at times.
Yeah.
But it's like, the annoying thing is, it's like, I want to be able to have opinions about Mary, but I feel like I can't because she was just so victimized.
She was a victim.
So it's kind of like, you can't really go past that because I'm actually sure, like, every now and then she did annoy me and I wanted to feel
but I
that, but
like
you
that too.
you can't even
Yeah.
start with that because
That's
you're like,
the thing of like all housewives is like there's a part of them that is all like
Yeah.
they're every single one like there's a little bit that's annoying and some just
yeah,
get away with it
totally.
more.
Jody. Every queen needs an empire, and I built mine from scratch.
Look, I think it's like a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah. Little fangs popping out.
Cristina, who just, can I just say,
My favorite.
Yes, so she's one of my favorite housewives
Also,
of all time.
Isn't she like 29 in it?
Yeah, I think she was 29 or 30 or something.
She
at this
turned
point.
29 or 30. I'm sorry. I'm 32.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm doing
Yeah.
pretty well looks-wise now.
True. Hers is Vancouver is a gold mine, and I love to go deep.
It's honestly
Snaps.
like
No,
yeah,
it's
10 out of 10. It's up there with like Bryn's
yes,
season 1.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Yeah.
Reiko. I live life in the fast lane. Catch me if you can.
She was
She
kind
was-
of forgettable.
She was really boring.
I
but
haven't thought of her since
No.
you reminded me.
How I did look up. She came out.
Yeah.
We love that because in my notes, started to make jokes about her being a lesbian, and then when I found that out, I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, that's
makes
changed everything."
Is she still with her?
I don't think so. I think they broke up. But
Okay,
she
Housewives
was,
curse.
Yes,
Curses again.
was with a lady for a while. How
Oh.
good, but no, I just her in the cars. I was like, okay,
Yeah,
kinda
like we get it. You're
boring.
rich.
We get it. You're original, and her style
Yeah.
was kind of.
It was 2012.
I know, but still, girl.
Yeah. I mean, Jody was walking around in ball gowns.
Tiaras. Reiko. I like Reiko, and I think, and she came around to the end. She was against.
I think she was
Jody.
a little bit like the Chica.
Yeah. Yes.
You know, like just likable
Plodding
by
along.
everyone.
Yep.
You know, had a little bit to say. Didn't really.
Yeah.
She was just rich.
Exactly.
She was just there.
Let's get into episode 1. It's called Let the Games Begin. And we first meet Jody. She's a muffin entrepreneur or cupcake entrepreneur at this point, which I was like, okay.
A lot of cupcakes.
A lot of cupcakes. She's got a very Sonia Morgan-esque face. But then...
I didn't even realize that she does.
when we first started watching it, we were like, oh my God, what is Sonia Morgan doing on this show? But then this evil cackle...
And really thin extensions. Like,
yeah.
you know, like the 2010 emo girls, like the one extension in the front and the back.
Yeah.
That kind of love.
Yeah. Mary's next. She is like this hot MILF we get introduced to her as, and she's like flirting with all her son's
friend.
kids. Yeah. And I was like, oh, and then this sets the tone. It was very Lydia, actually. Like, oh, like flirting with the son's kids or the stepson or whatever. I was like, I love this. So that's sort of how we're introduced to her, but that kind of, her being...
That storyline didn't really stick.
It doesn't go anywhere. But can I say, this show, there is a lot of the kids in it.
Yeah.
And you'll hear more about that as we go along. But
Are we looking at Jody's daughter?
we're talking about Ms. Mia, the mini-me to the evil
You know
villainess.
what? Mia, that cackle,
Yeah.
she's Jody's daughter.
The fangs. And then Ronnie with the relationship with her son, the one that's always in it. It's like they're a couple.
Oh, yeah.
It's so weird. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah.
And he was trying to be very mature for like a 22-year-old or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is not a healthy
No, but
relationship.
also, I
Can we-
remember what I was like at 22, and I'm so sorry to everyone who knew me.
Well, yeah, but I'm like, I didn't want to be on a show with my mum when I was 22.
No.
Wearing suits and stuff. Anyway, some weird child-parent relationships in this show. Okay, we meet Ronnie next after seeing some music videos of Mary's, which I was like, oh my God.
So cheap.
It's like Jewel adjacent.
Yeah.
Mary Zilber. Had you heard of her as a singer?
No.
No.
But I was also listening to like Hannah Montana at that stage.
True. But no, I hadn't, and to this day, have not.
I might listen
Poetry
to
in
her on the way
Motion.
home.
That
Is she
song,
on Spotify?
the song that she does on this show, that gets stuck in my head.
Is it on Spotify?
Surely. We'll have to find out. This. We meet Ronnie. She lives in a gated community in West Vancouver and pretty much owns half an island.
She's the only one in that gated community.
Yeah. And we meet Reiko. She's very rich.
Yes.
Oh my God. And then we get this scene where Jody meets up with Reiko. And this was when I was like, oh, okay, strap yourselves in. Because she goes to Reiko, so we're throwing a party and don't worry, we'll have sushi there because, you know, you're Asian. And no one involved bats an eyelid. Reiko's just like, yep, cool.
Yeah.
The camera people are like, cool.
Yeah,
It's got
yeah.
And I was screaming.
Oh, it's the way that it was said, and I don't even think Reiko had a chance to like clock it.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
all she heard was there's going to be food.
Yeah, totally. Which she was like, great.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, Jody just always being like, oh, she's
Yeah.
so that lady, that like rich white lady that's like, oh no, but I go to the Chinese supermarket.
Is that in the first episode
yes.
where she's like yelling at them in like Chinese?
When she walks into the fucking Chinese shop and starts
Barking orders.
I was like, who is this woman?
Well, she's also in like this giant car, this big box of a car, and she's like minuscule. Oh, it's wild.
It's giving like, did you ever watch Broad City?
Yeah.
You know, like Alana's mum, when they go to Chinatown to buy the knockoff handbags, and she's like, can speak Chinese for that reason only. I'm like, this woman is that. Like,
Yeah.
she's learned Cantonese so that she can get like
Yeah.
a good deal.
She's calling them all uncle,
Yeah.
and
That's
what my dad
died.
expects me to call his best friends uncle,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I don't know them.
But at this point, you haven't met her properly, so you think like in my opinion, at this point, I was like, oh, she's kind of like fabulous, and she was. Everyone at the shop was coming up to her and being like, oh, Jody, we love you, and I'm like,
Yeah.
Looking back on that now, I'm like, she fucking paid those people to do that.
Probably.
Like,
yeah. Yeah.
people were not just coming up to her and being like, oh, Jody, we love you. Like that was.
Nah. And she's like,
arranged.
yeah, I think the audacity of that. I was just like, whoa.
Oh, iconic scene.
Coming in and barking orders. Wow.
We see Reiko buying a Ferrari, and we meet her husband. I thought he was kind of cool.
Yeah, I didn't mind him. I think there are some husbands that come onto the shows and, you know, like the girls on like New Jersey. Like that is a very husband-centric thing. And
They want to be involved.
I don't want to see the husbands
Same.
unless they're just cool and they pop in.
Or really hot. Which rarely happens.
Are we talking Sean?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, either get your hot husband
Yeah.
on the show
Yeah.
or fuck off.
Yeah.
And
I don't want to see them. I don't want to see
No.
a straight man on my TV.
And I don't want...
Unless they're hot.
What was like Bronwyn's husband called? I don't want that.
Todd.
Todd. I don't want Todd being a fucking messy bitch.
No.
Anyway.
Unless he's going to, you know, pay me to come and do Bronwyn's makeup, then I love you.
Love Bronwyn. Then we meet Cristina. Fucking
My
icon. She
favourite.
is Samantha Jones. Like,
Oh.
she is the real life Samantha.
She is the gold digger friend I wish I had.
Same. The way she
Like-
doesn't, the way she's just not flapped by anything.
No.
She is a fucking superwoman.
Yeah,
Like,
but also in her like late 20s in the show, like to have been through what, 2 divorces?
Yeah, I
already
was
at
like,
that stage?
okay, you're 30, you've had 2 divorces.
Yeah, and she's like, you know, it's very expensive to be married to me. Ask my 2 ex-husbands.
But being able to make those jokes and stuff is just icon behavior.
Yeah.
And just walk in with... She was the most mature and confident person of all of them, and the youngest housewife of all time at this point.
Until Ashley Darby.
Yeah, true. How
He was
old was she?
26 when
Was
she came on.
And I think next season, Yulia is 26 as well.
Kombucha Queen.
We'll get to that messy diva next week. Girls' Weekend in Whistler. Great way to start the franchise. I think other franchises should take note. Do a trip straight up.
Yeah.
Because then it's less like, oh, we're pretending that they all knew each other and stuff. And it's more like, let's
get to know each other.
Yes.
Because what do they say? Like, you really get to know people when you travel with them.
True.
And we got to know them.
Did we ever? Oh my goodness. At dinner, Ronnie is kind of reminding me of a Kelly Ben Simone.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's sort of like a bit bossy.
Bossy, unhinged, but also just enough to the point where you're like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, you're like, I'm intrigued, I want to know.
Yeah.
But she thinks she's kind of like masquerading really cleverly, but it's like, honey, we can see
she thinks she's killing it.
Yeah, and we're like, girl, you're a mess.
I would love to have been on the producer's side, just watching in, going, we struck gold, girls.
Yeah, they were rubbing themselves on production. Jody's unhinged. This is straight away at one. She outs herself as being a monster. Yes,
chef.
She trolls Mary relentlessly at this dinner for no reason. She's like giving her unsolicited life advice.
Yeah.
She's like, no, you need to do this and you need to do that. And this is how you find a partner. I'm like, Jody, how's that going for you? Because last time I checked, you are not in a successful relationship, darling.
No, was she single at that point?
I believe she was single during the whole show, no? There was no
there was no
man
mention
involved.
of a man.
It was her and her fucked up relationship with her daughter.
Yeah. And then there was a small one who was not talking on camera.
Oh, yeah.
I'm surprised that she was allowed to even be filmed on camera, that young one.
True.
She was like 4.
I just, at this point, if someone spoke to me like that, I would be like, sorry, who are you? Like, what?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
But her outfit was like those giant Alexander McQueen like skulls. Like there was like 6 of them around her neck.
Yes.
We should have known from that outfit, like this is the demon.
Episode 2 is called Oh Bully. Christine's 29, so she's having a 30th birthday.
Wow.
She kind of reminds me a little bit of Brandy Glanville as well at times, but in like the parts of Brandy that we love,
like party girl, fun, loves a drink,
and like
loves a gay,
sexually fluid. Yeah, loves a gay, loves to talk about sex, which we're like, thank you. She immediately thinks Jody is a bully, which I'm like, okay, great, you ahead of your time. She knew what was going on straight away.
Well, I mean, she's been through 2 divorces. Like she can read people really well.
Exactly. Then we meet Mia at the J Brand event. It's giving Alana Hill. Don't you think?
The J Brand is the
J Brand
jeans.
is like Dangerfield.
Yeah.
But they're talking about it.
Jeans, right?
This was like the daughter doing her shit. Yeah. She seems possessed.
Well,
by a demon.
Yeah.
She's not of God.
We need some Jackie Gillies going in there.
Yes. Cleanse this. Just vile. For me, it's the
big toothy grin. Yeah.
The way they laugh. They're like,
yeah.
And then it's full on Jody v Cristina in this episode, which I was like so on Christina's side.
I just think Cristina is like before her time, like wise, fun, silly.
Calling out the bullshit. And also just like offended that people, like women, would talk to women like that. Yeah.
Because and maybe it's her, like her young age. I'm older than her now.
Yeah.
Like what she was on that show. And I'm still like, oh, that's, I mean, imagine being in your late 20s and being put into that with like a 40-year-old yelling at you.
Yeah.
That'd be awful.
Mary, you're 50. You're 50. Oh, God. Jody goes to an Italian supermarket this time, which I'm like, oh, my God. But surprisingly, she resists the urge to start speaking in Italian. She's not like, Mamma mia, when she walks in. She just regularly walks in. I was like, oh, okay.
I would have cracked it if she'd gone in and just speaking like Mario.
We meet Christina's BFF, Kevin.
Yes.
Kevin
I
is
need
Chris
to know
Lilly.
where he is now.
Yeah, what's he doing?
Lilly.
He's very. It's like that type of. It's a Mr. G type character.
Yeah. I didn't even think Chris Lilly, but
It just his kind of mannerisms. I was like, oh,
it's a
amazing.
yassified Chris Lilly.
It's a it is. It's very Chris Lilly. Cristina stands up to Reiko and Ronnie, which was rude. I don't know. This was the early days where they're all trying to get on. We meet Marika.
Oh yeah, the
part
friend
who should have been in the show more.
I imagine that they would have been filming a bunch with her at in the early phases of filming, maybe for the first 2 or 3 weeks.
Yeah,
they probably filmed with her quite a bit.
But what was going on with Cristina? Because she didn't rock up. She stood up Reiko first and then Ronnie in the same episode. And I'm watching it, and so this for me was I was almost going to be like, I hate this woman because I can't stand this behavior.
Yeah.
I'm a punctual queen, so I was like, oh no. But something was clearly going on. I reckon she was having second thoughts about being on the show.
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like there's...
Or having a bender with some drag queens.
I mean, look, either she's considering dropping out, and I don't see that being the case, but it could be true.
Yeah.
Or her just being too hungover to film. Which
Could have
the
been
camera
that.
caught her a few times waking up.
Yes. Oh my God, those shots of her in bed. I'm like, girl,
Yeah.
is that a meme?
Drinking water. Also, the dog licking her mouth.
Oh,
The inside of her mouth.
amazing, relatable content.
Oh.
So yeah, Marika's throwing this 30th birthday, and it's all like, is she gonna rock up? And Kevin goes to the rescue and goes and he's like, I'm in the limo now. I'm coming to get you, Cristina. You gotta be at your party. It's so good. At the party, they get her a t-shirt that says, like a hooker, only smarter. And she's such a good sport about it. She's like, great. She's like,
I think she would have secretly been like, that shirt's great. It's a very much a t-shirt that I would have seen when I was growing up in Surfers Paradise.
Or Supre.
Surfers on the boulevard.
Just on the boulevard, just at a shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or Supre.
It was the Supre font. It was impact font on a white t-shirt.
And also the photos, when they're scrolling on a BlackBerry to see the whole photo.
The Blackberries sent me yeah. But Jody thinks she's so smart and funny, but it's fuck off. She dealt with it really well. And then I love she's having so much fun that she dances around in the t-shirt and her underwear, which I was like, great.
It's a girls' night. Cameras were down for the night.
Incredible. But does Jody have thoughts on this? Which rolls into ep 3, which is called She Should Have Kept Her Clothes On. Great title.
Also, no. I want my housewives unhinged, drunk, gold diggers for thirds, and just doing.
Cristina was
she's
being an
doing
icon,
her,
and we were living, and then Jody had to. Anyway, this is where we get Cristina's iconic hangover scene. So good. Jody takes Reiko to get some whale sperm facials.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know what? I ended up getting that under my eyes. Not whale, but on Friday night.
Oh, just human.
Not. No. Not this week. No, salmon sperm.
Oh, so you did the salmon sperm?
Yes.
How amazing.
It hurt.
Did they inject it?
Microneedled.
Fuck. Yeah, incredible. Were you glowing?
You tell me. We'll let the audience decide.
Yeah, exactly. Jody and her daughter are pearl clutching hard over this undies thing. They're they won't let it go. They're like, it's disgusting. Oh, Cristina, she's a whore.
Meanwhile, they're dressed in tiaras and furs and little fur cuffs.
When they go off on people, I die because they put on these fake British accents, and she's like, oh, it kind of makes me think that Catherine O'Hara had seen this show when she did Moira Rose, right? Because it's the same kind of posh Canadian accent and delusional. She's got that's got to have been one of the
a bit of
references,
inspiration,
right?
Yeah. I haven't thought of it like that, but I see it.
Just when she's kind of going, oh, oh, and she's pretending she's like concerned,
But
but
clearly,
she's actually
like,
just being a cunt.
she's acting like she's concerned, but the eyes are saying otherwise.
She's the most judgmental piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. Like,
Yeah.
it's wild. Then we get some scenes with a personal trainer for everyone. This was a very like Reiko heavy episode. I was like, oh no. It was like her doing like taekwondo or whatever. I was like,
And like a bit of boxing.
we don't need this. Yeah, kind of filler. And then Ronnie telling us about how she's going to knock down the houses and build like one super house. I was like, okay.
Like, she's fucking rich.
She's rich and she's bored.
Yeah, but
So
also like
bored.
the plans for it.
Yeah.
Like, looking at the plans, you're like, oh,
It's like an airport. Like you'd need like travelators to get around.
it looks so lifeless.
Yeah.
On the outside, and in the inside, you're like, what?
Yeah. If you have 3 properties and you're just walking around the grounds all day going,
Should
like,
I knock this down?
Maybe get a hobby? I don't know. Like, yeah.
Go hang out with your friends and get filmed.
This is where I wrote Reiko is such a lesbian. So I could see, girl. She wants to have her own man cave, which I thought was cute. She was like,
Isn't that just called like
yeah.
her house?
Yeah. She's got too many cars, and I was like, Then we get horse storylines.
My favorite part.
I love a Housewives series with a horse. It's very Montano.
The
Yeah, yes, very, very brand VM.
I
Yes.
love how Cristina is like, how much did she say it was?
Oh, the
like-
horse.
Like 35,000
Yeah.
isn't a lot of money, especially when it's not my money.
That's right.
Iconic.
So good. So
Iconic.
good. Then Mary and Ronnie have a very Chardonnay fueled bust up. So their friendship is like so tumultuous because they've
It's
known each other.
bad.
They've known each other for a while, but like they've come on the show and it's like ruptured things. And Jody is like a vulture, just like circling their friendship, like waiting for them to like.
Oh yeah, like
Get
waiting for like a
into
little bit
it.
of blood to then like swoop
Yeah,
down and just
yeah.
like pick at it.
She
But
lives.
I feel like the friendship between Mary and Ronnie is very much like the Biv and
Chrissy.
and Chrissy.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like socialite friends,
And every now and then they pretend they
like seeing each
Don't-
other out socially, you know, like had a drink, you know, with each other,
Yes.
but like they're not best friends.
Uh-huh.
And then they've, you know, done casting,
acquaintances.
casted one of them, gone, who do you know who would fit?
Mm-hmm,
Oh, a pop star friend. Great.
Totally.
Brought her on. And
Yeah.
then they've gone on going, we know each other, like we're friends.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I
To-
feel like it's very
totally
much
that.
like that.
Ronnie tells Jody about her fight with Mary, which she lives for, and then they continue to slut shame Cristina some more, which I was just like,
It makes
wow.
me really sad to see the slut shaming because I'm like,
it's intense.
it's, you know,
She just wore some underwear, and they're like, oh, they talked about it like she had like, I don't know, fingered herself on camera or something. Like she literally was just like dancing around at her party.
in underwear.
So what?
My friends have seen me do worse.
Absolutely. Anyway.
I'm so sorry again.
Then Cristina and Jody meet up to like clear the air, and Cristina calls Mia, Jody's demon child, a skank, and I died.
You know what? The
Where's
thing
the
is,
line?
like in all of the shows, there's this rule like don't bring the kids in. I'm sorry, but if your kids
Mia-
are old enough to
Oh.
film and they're getting into storylines, they're fair game.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Yeah.
Mia is closer to Christina's age than Jody is. So
And Mia is seeing some Cristina and wanting a piece.
is this the
She's
one where
like-
Jody rocks up in giant sunglasses and a tiara and fur flats?
Every episode, the sunglasses. She's like, it's just my thing. First, she blames her
It's couture.
eyesight. First, she's like, oh, I've got eye problems. I need to wear big sunglasses. Then later on, she's like, it's my trademark. I'm like, okay, Paris
And then she's like,
Hilton.
it's fashion. It's couture.
And they're just the
What are they?
ugliest sunglasses you've ever seen. Anyway. And then on the way out, I fucking hate your slippers, by the way. Iconic line. Those slippers were...
And then she cries, and that made me
Yeah.
sad because I'm like,
Yes.
have you ever been to the point where
Yes.
like you're holding it together while like having a bit of a tiff with someone, and then like they're leaving, you're like, fuck,
So fucked. Episode 4 is called Pass the Peace Pipe. Jody eats a triple burger.
Wow, that was me like 2 months ago. There's nothing special about it.
But I just remember them cutting that and I was like, okay. And then refuses to use the porta potty at some suburban car racing event of Reiko's. So funny.
But fair.
Yeah, she's like,
I'm not using a porta potty.
But I just love in the same shot, she's like woofing down a triple cheeseburger, then claiming to be some kind of lady that can't go near a porta potty. I'm like, well, maybe don't eat like huge amounts of like beef.
But that is
just a suggestion.
That's very
bitch.
Daniel Tan behavior. I'm sorry. I no. I would do the same. I just wouldn't be going near the porta potty.
Yeah.
No.
They go in some fast cars and I love Jody's face when she's in the car. She's like, oh, ha, 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 ha. Oh, it goes quite fast. Like she's freaking out, but like trying to pretend like she's not.
Like the cameras are everywhere, babe. Like
So good.
it's good.
Mary and Jody have lunch together, so Jody can give more fabulous unsolicited advice. Which, look, Mary should have set the boundary straight away.
Yeah.
But she didn't.
Yeah. No, because I think she is probably weaker in the sense of she wants everyone to like her. She doesn't want to rock the boat.
True. Yeah, and I also like, who would be prepared for this level of monstrosity? Like,
no, exactly.
I wouldn't.
But at this point, she still thinks that she considers her and Ronnie better friends than Ronnie considers Mary to be to her.
Yes.
And that's
True.
a sad realization. Like watching it, you're going, this woman doesn't care about you. Like you're just collateral damage in this show to her.
Yeah.
But
We get Winegate. So like Ronnie...
wait, isn't she
These
coming
are
up
the
with
texts.
a collection of scarves, Mary? Is it?
Oh, yeah. Okay, I forgot about that.
And Ronnie rocks up to this meeting,
Yes.
obliterated. Me on my
Yes.
birthday, wasted.
But like shit-faced.
Oh,
and we love to see it. Like
she's straddling like
I
a
love
goat.
drunk Ronnie on screen. Like I was
Yeah,
living.
yeah. Until she
Miss
says,
Rehab.
until she says, rehab was fabulous. The only part that was missing was happy hour. Are you kidding
Like
me?
that should have been the tagline. Like
Yeah.
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we get so basically Ronnie is blaming Mary for like force feeding her Chardonnay, which I'm like, wow.
Yeah,
you
like the
are
gaslighting.
amazing. She's like, well, you know, yes, I like a little bit of wine, but you don't need to make me drink it, Mary. How
We've seen
dare
her
you?
drink every episode this season so far.
Crazy. Oh my god. Mary meets with Adam H, the music producer with the like Lee Harding hairstyle. Oh my god. This is wow. And you think that this guy's just going to be in this one episode, but oh no. We get so much Adam fucking H in this show.
Yeah.
Like, oh, kill me. And his little makeshift studio. It's amazing.
He kind of reminds me of, do you remember watching Sydney season 1? Melissa's
Yes,
like,
Scouts.
yeah, her music producer.
It's that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you sing that in Russian?
Totally. Oh god. But his style, Adam H, I had to double check that this show was in fact shot in 2012 because I was like, it's giving to 2002.
Ooh,
Jody's hosting a dinner for Mia's birthday. And her and Mia are fighting, and this is so good. When Jody and Mia fight, I like get fully erect.
because it's like seeing like Tweedledee and Tweedledum just turn on each other. It's wild.
So good. Mary and Cristina aren't invited. This is when the invite militia like warfare starts, and then is a consistent theme throughout the rest of the show that Mary should not be present at events. And when she is there, Jody's like, I think it's disgusting that you're here. And it's like, sorry, you're shooting the same show.
I really don't know what the issue is between her and Mary.
I still, to this day, cannot tell you.
It's like she could almost like see that there was just like a little bit of weakness coming from her.
Yeah. I think she's a shark and she smells fear. She smells blood and she just doubles down. Also, surely some jealousy.
Yeah.
Mary's like a successful person. She's very happy. She's very comfortable with who she is.
I also think there's you know, like in New York,
Yeah.
how, you know, people have said Tinsley was the nicest one to work with, easy,
Yeah.
never asked for anything, you know, always like all that.
And then they get taken for a ride, like
Yeah, but
by
I
the
can
the
see that-
strong girlies.
Yeah,
Strong meaning like insecure.
yeah, but like producers love to work with them because they're just so nice. I can see that being
Yeah.
the case with Mary, where
Totally.
producers loved working with her,
Yeah.
and the other girls were like hearing it and just going,
Well, Mary and Cristina aren't invited to Mia's, so they have their own party wearing burqas.
"Oh,
They're the cultural appropriation on this show. Incredible.
yeah."
Mary gets wine drunk in the studio with Adam H. Adam H is like, look, let's just loosen you up to write this track, Mary. We're just going to get you fucking wine drunk.
Oh,
And they write the most amazing song.
we need to play it.
We do.
We need to play it just so like everyone can sit here.
It ain't Elvis, something Presley. It ain't Mona James Dean. Oh my god. Cristina gets hypnotized
By men?
Yeah. And then she tells us about being bullied in school, and I'm like, you just love her. She gets better.
I feel like it's a thing for every Housewives. There's always like a past regression, a hypno
Yep.
session,
Or some shine. Yeah.
or a psychic.
Yeah,
There's always something, a fortune teller. There's always something to do, a bit woo-woo.
definitely.
I love it.
With all the dysfunction in the group, Reiko wants to bring everyone together to clear the air, but Mary doesn't attend. She's probably still lit from the studio wine. Jody goes in hard on Cristina from the jump, slut-shaming and antagonizing. What an absolute piece of shit. Like,
Yeah.
it's crazy to me.
It's just crazy to see it all happen, you know, and like I feel like when this came out, I think I was so used to seeing lighthearted fun,
Yeah.
you know, a little bit of drama, but nothing like that was completely going in on everyone's, like, you know, annihilating them completely. So seeing it all happen, you're like, oh, like these bitches hate each other.
They really do.
Like-
but what does Jody want? Like, she never has a request. She just wants to tell someone that they've done something in her eyes that's like wrong.
Yeah.
And then she just wants to keep it. And she never, ever lets it go.
No.
Ever.
There's a God complex
Ex-
there.
Exactly. And then, but she's so righteous.
Yeah.
And then, but I'm like, what do you want? Do you want the person to go, oh my God, you're right, Jody. I'm a piece of shit. You're amazing.
And I'm going to quit the show
yeah,
now.
like what the fuck do you want, bitch?
So if they had quit because of her, then what is Jody going to
What's the
be
show?
on?
It's actually like concerning behavior.
Yeah.
And to my understanding, to this day, she's never acknowledged any of this behavior in any way.
Get her on next week.
Like, seriously, Jody, if you want to come on, I'll hear you out. But, like, I'm not going to fucking let you slut shame me.
Yeah,
But
same.
Cristina can give it back, which is great. Because Mary kind of just rolled over a bit. Cristina was like, no. And then she seems to have cracked the code because they kind of giggle and move on a bit, which we love to see. But I'm also like,
I don't trust it.
I don't trust it. But it's like, oh, so what? Jody just wants you to be as bulldoggy as she is. And then
Yeah.
she's like, oh, like, I think she respects Cristina because she bats back.
Yeah.
But it's like, what? That's no way to
Either
be.
she wants you to be like
Yeah.
a bulldog up at her level, or completely submissive.
Yes, so
and
she
just
can,
taking the drama and the
like
shit.
Mary.
Yeah.
Episode 5 is called
Poor
Mending
Mary.
Fences and Burning Bridges. Yes, poor Mary. The wine drunk text war begins between Ronnie and Mary, these ladies. Oh my God. And then the showing of the texts around. It's great. Jody prank calls Cristina like she's from the tax department. What the fuck was this?
I'd freak out though.
Yeah.
The tax man.
Yeah, and she was like, oh, I can't be, but just weird thing to do. And she's like,
Yeah.
Reiko loves high-end clothes and high-end cars, so she's doing a snoozy fashion show.
There's always a fashion show
I
somewhere.
know.
And like some of these clothes they show, you're like, we
All-
didn't need to see this.
All of the events in this show, when they say it's like a fashion show or whatever, it's always very like regional.
Oh yeah,
Like it's always like outside,
Yeah.
at like a mall or like at the front of a mall
with
or
a
something.
designer we've never heard of.
And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Which is
Yeah.
great. Which again, I think the cities that aren't, you know, your New Yorks and your Beverly Hills make the best housewives. It's why
Yeah.
Melbourne worked so well as well, because like no one's fucking like, you know,
Yeah.
there's not this reputation or something that you've got to live up to. You can actually just like have the messy stuff, and it's like so
I'm still
incestuous.
upset they didn't do the Gold Coast.
Oh, that still could happen. I'm still hearing whispers, but I think with the way things are going, no one can afford to fucking start a whole new show.
Yeah, no.
I don't even know if they're going to make more Sydney. Like,
Yeah,
I've heard conflicting things. So anyway, Ronnie and Mary finally confront Winegate. And let's be honest, they are both just wine drunk. And so they bury the hatchet for now.
The fact that they're having like an argument about who was wasted and who wasn't,
Yeah.
and while also being
Girls,
drunk at the time.
Yeah, messy.
You know what? Me.
Yeah. Cristina goes cruising for some dick at a bar and ends up with this dweeby looking guy. When she does this, I'm just like, amazing.
You know what? She's for the gays and the girls.
Yeah.
Her age, not these older bitches.
And we find out soon that she's been hitting the town with young Mia under her wing, which is a bombshell that I was truly shocked by.
Yeah, because it's like they were just ragging on each other.
Yeah.
And what, now they're going out for dick?
Exactly. Mary hosts a dinner, which escalates. And this is where we get are they or are they not Jewish gate, which is so insane. Like, it's so stupid. She's like, she said we weren't Jewish.
Like, okay.
What?
Like, do you have
Well,
to prove anything?
Exactly. Firstly, she didn't say that, and it's never been proven. Secondly, so what if she did? You just go, well, no, well, sorry to let you know, I am. And then she goes, great, cool, thanks for letting me know.
Yeah.
Like, there was never, it's such a grasping, it's such a reach. It's pulling a card that she doesn't actually have.
No, but also, like, okay, like, if someone said to me, you're not half Chinese, I'd be like,
I am.
okay, like, sure.
Thanks for your opinion about
you.
my identity.
Yeah, like,
Well,
I'm not
love
running
and
to the next person going, can you fucking believe what she said?
totally.
But I'm also not on a show.
But you're also
yet.
not Jody, and Jody is living for this because it's like she's got something. She loves a bit of ammo.
She also loves a bit of screen time.
Yeah, and she's gonna really, really milk it. It also feels quite topical because it's like, I don't know, people just claiming anti-Semitism over everything at the moment is like insane, and it's like, deep breaths, everyone.
Yeah.
Like, Ronnie starts singing in Hebrew. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Wait, is Ronnie Jewish?
I don't know. I think she's just rich.
That's her identity.
Like,
rich.
Like, I don't know, but how weird was that bit? And it's and then they all kind of just Anyway, she's starting. Ronnie loses her shit and leaves in a physical altercation in the lift. This is the most insane part. Like,
these girls get physical.
Yeah, they take it there.
And like, they've just been like verbal bullies this whole time. I didn't think that they were going to get physical. And I remember like watching it just going, oh,
I was like locked in. At that point, I was already loving it. But at that point, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, we're finishing the season tonight. 6 is hot cars and cold shoulders. Mary reminisces with Cristina about the fight with Ronnie, who then flies into the city on a seaplane. Reiko and Cristina meet up and they do like judo or some shit while she's hungover, and it's heaven. Just Cristina just being hungover. I could watch a whole show of that.
Oh, I don't know where she is now. Is she on the gram?
I don't know. I think she's MIA.
She's got a Mia.
Yeah, she's...
No, I really need to know what she looks like now because she looked
Yeah.
40 at 29.
She did, yeah. I think
need
it was
to
more the styling. She had this kind of like Anne Hathaway thing
thin
going
eyebrows.
on. Yeah, and just the...
But like when she's like, they catch her standing outside her apartment, she's like there with like one like leg pointed in, like one out, like, what are you doing, babe? And her dog Napoleon.
Oh my God, I forgot about
The original Figs.
Yeah, it's very Fig.
Yeah.
And are you watching? And just like that?
No.
It's so bad.
Do you have a MAFS password I can borrow?
Sure. There is 2 Italian Greyhounds on the show, and one looks so much like Mr. Fig, and I'm like, oh, R.I.P. Ronnie wants to start a wine called Rehab, and this whole
Is this the branding? The branding.
wow, the branding
meeting?
people. There's several of these meetings, and they come in and she's like, it's called Rehab, and they're already the wine people are like,
Yeah.
not a great name. They're like,
And then she goes into her story.
yeah, and then
they're
they're like, oh, and then they come back with all these designs, to which she's like, I fucking hate them all. They're disgusting. How stupid are you people? And it's like, well,
What do you want?
what are they supposed to do with that? That's the worst brief of all time. A wine called Rehab.
I just can't imagine, like, being an. I mean, she's an active alcoholic. She's drinking on the show.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
crazy.
coming up going, I think it's a great idea to launch my product on this show. It's going to be a wine called Rehab.
Meanwhile, Ronnie and Mary are forced to sit next to each other at the luxury car fashion show. And Reiko pretends to be shy about modeling. She's like, I'm shy. It's like, bitch, look at you.
You're on a
You're
reality show.
stunning.
You're not shy.
Yeah. The girls, led by Jody, bully Mary at the car event, leaving the bar when she arrives. It was Mean Girls.
It's just also nasty.
So nasty. Ep7 is back in the saddle. Ronnie is just a raging alcoholic at this point. The wine label continues, and it's just like, yeah, this is when she says, the only thing missing from Rehab was happy hour.
I just can't imagine going on this show thinking my story is going to be about me being rehabilitated,
Yeah.
going to drink again,
And sell a wine.
and sell a wine called
Called
Rehab.
And she does this cork trick with 2 forks.
That's
to
right.
the wine people who were just like I actually died. They were like, oh, and she's
balancing?
like, you gotta just put the forks in the
Clearly,
thing."
she's had a bottle
She's
of
like,
it before she got to that meeting.
And have you looked up the reviews of Rehab wine?
No.
Something for you to do tonight. It's amazing. The reviews are just like, it tastes like absolute shit. It's so good. Anyway, also Ronnie is still totally in love with her son, and I find it really strange.
Yeah.
Jody tells her demon child Mia that Mary called them not Jewish, which activates Mia.
Mia's got locked in on
She's
this.
like, what? She
Yeah.
calls not Jewish. And then Mia becomes sort of like the secondary bully. And then at this party, they go to this like cowboy bar, and Mia like pushes Mary, like physically pushes me. These days that would be enough to get you like kicked off a show.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, you said we weren't Jewish, and pushes her on the dance floor or something. It's horrible to watch.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ep8
But these
is-
girls,
yeah.
like back then, there was just
Yeah.
no, like, the cameras were purely there filming. Like, now you can sort of see, like, when things are a little bit, like, egged on by producers or sort of, like, planted or set up.
Yeah.
Back then, especially in this, it's like cameras were just there.
They were just kind of there. I think they were
Yeah.
figuring it out. Season 2, you get a lot more traces of producer fuckery,
Yeah.
which we'll get to. But like this season just feels like, they just pressed play. And
Yeah.
this all
Yeah.
just happened.
Yeah.
Then they go to Mexico in episode 8, which is called I Caramba.
Off of the Blue Tulum.
Blue fucking... So if Rehab wasn't enough,
That
we
fucking
get,
bottle.
we get Blue Tulum.
The bottle of it.
It looks so sickly sweet. It like makes me want to spew just by like watching them do
And
it.
the concept of it came
Yeah.
from her mixing 2 drinks together, probably at kick-ons, going, we should bottle this and make it.
La Mascara.
Did you have a drink?
I did.
Thoughts?
Wasn't good.
No.
There's a reason it's no longer on the shelves. Jody and Mary have huge tension at this Japanese dinner. And then she says, "Oh, we can't cheers." Jody's such a bitch. She's like, "We can't cheers. It's bad luck to cheers someone you don't like." Like,
I've
is
never heard that.
she just the most vile human?
I just know of
Yeah.
eye contact.
Yes.
7
or
years bad luck sex.
Yeah.
Yes. Thanks, Miss Lydia.
Yeah.
Well, that's it.
Yeah. The girls can't deal. Jody causes more chaos in the group, going off at Reiko this time, which is, yeah. So we haven't even gotten to what she ends up doing to Reiko, which is shortchanging her from a purchase in her shop. It's like, she's really got some balls, Jody. You got to give it to her. Like, not only is she causing chaos, like judging the shit out of everyone, bullying everyone, but then the one person that's on her side, Reiko, she's going to like rip her off. It's like, girl, she's your one ally at this point. Like,
Also, there's this thing about Jody's shop where, like, they go on about, you know, it's secondhand.
Yeah.
No, it's vintage.
that whole
So
thing
it's
is
secondhand.
insane. I don't sell anything fake in my store. It's like she's so defensive. She's like ready to go, even when she
they're
doesn't
the
know what's
Kate
going
Middleton
on.
jeans.
Yeah.
Like, okay, I didn't know she did
I
jeans.
know. They're still in Mexico on episode 9, which is called Mexican Standoff. And they do the blue slim photo shoot with Cristina once again being slut shamed.
Oh, in the water with her top off. It's like she's probably the youngest one there with like the perky set of boobs.
It's Mary this time. She's like, "Oh, I'm not sure it's very blue Tulum to have your tits out." I'm like, "It absolutely is."
You're in Mexico.
Yeah,
Like, of course it is.
White girls rolling around the beach in Mexico. Jody tells Cristina she wants to put Mary's head in the toilet, which is wild. Is that not a threat of violence?
No, it is. Absolutely.
And the producers are just like, "Oh, yeah, keep going." It's like,
Yeah, we'll keep you all there filming. Yeah, drinking all day.
which of course gets relayed back to Mary, who is disgusted, as you would be. Like,
I don't know how I would go hearing about like actual threats of violence toward me by someone. You know what I mean?
it's crazy.
Like, I'd either go into like fight or flight mode. So
Yeah.
I'm surprised that it just didn't.
because you want to laugh, but then like Jody has no lol, so there's no like.
You don't
It's
know-
not fun.
Well, you don't know how far she would take it
Yeah.
either.
Totally, she's actually dangerous. Then secondhand clothes gate begins. So of course, Jody finds a problem to have with some language used about her store, and finally Ronnie sees the light because legal threats start to get thrown around, and I think Ronnie steps up now, and she starts to realize that like this bitch is crazy, and she can't support it anymore.
Oh, I kind of love it when things get legal in a show like this, which is like protected by so many contracts. But like,
Did it even get legal? She just like threw a letter at her.
Yeah.
Which she's like, "I'm not touching that." It's so bad. I want to read those letters so bad. It would be amazing.
Surely they're on Reddit somewhere.
They're gotta be somewhere. Episode 10 is called Sour Grapes. On the track because they do this wine country trip. The Okanagan. They're like, "We're going to the Okanagan." I'm like, great.
Is this still in Canada, or are they back?
Yeah, I think it's somewhere in BC still. Or
Yeah.
I think it's nearby. It's like wine country, which of course, you know, these ladies, any excuse will do to just get fucking blackout wine drunk in the middle of the day.
I love a little wine drink.
This is when we learn about Cristina and Mia, which I was like, I had to pause because I thought I had like heard something incorrectly. But like at this point, I was fully just thought that they'd fucked. Did you? Like that's how they present it.
Yeah, because it was like this big scandalous thing, and I'm like, so what really happened?
Well, so they were going out and like trolling for dick together. I think
Love
in the club,
the
which is
girls out.
which is everything.
Well, the
Don't you
girls-
think Mia looks a little bit like Whitney Port?
A little bit.
Like she's got the Whitney Ports
Yeah.
about it, but not personality.
if she had like a deep conditioner through her hair, very much Whitney.
I love Whitney Port so much. But Mia is a mess. And I think she's got this horrible toxic mum, and then Christina's like this fun party girl, and she like wants to try a bit, but they get blackout together, and then she wakes up in her bed. And so Christina's got that on me now. She's like,
do you think something more happened?
look, probably not, but I like that Cristina made us think that it did. I enjoyed that a lot.
And that is showbiz, baby.
Yeah, that's exactly the whole show. But I was like, is this the first franchise where like one cast member fucks another cast member's daughter on the show? I was like, this is everything.
I mean, look, I feel like if it was going to happen in any other show, something with Sonia Morgan.
Yeah. Oh, but I like that she's got that on her.
Yeah.
Jody loses her shit at Mary over dinner. The fake clothes gate continues.
But some of it is fake.
Yeah. And then this is when Cristina outs Mia for like waking up in her bed, and Jody's face, it's amazing. She's like, oh. She's sort of like
trying to move that forehead as much as it will move.
It's dead.
I just love the fact that those two girls were out on the city cruising.
Amazing.
For the D.
Heaven. To be alive in the clubs of Vancouver at that time.
But then also to go, I can't have a late night. I've got to wake up early and film a show.
Hungover as well. Jody gives an apology, apology to Cristina, and they kind of call it truce. And I think it's because she wants her to shut up about the Mia stuff, which is great. Then they all just get wine drunk. Episode 11 is called You Scratch My Back and I'll Scratch Yours. And it's Mary and Ronnie being friends again, which we love to see.
I don't trust it.
You can't, because the only thing they don't agree about is Jody. So it's like, just don't talk about Jody. Reiko plans the Bollywood party for her husband and drops like $100,000 or something crazy on this party.
Do you think she actually paid for it? Do you think production...
No, she says that the husband
50-50.
paid for it.
Oh, hot.
I don't think the production pay for shit. Do they?
Not on the new Sydney done by Binge.
No, fuck no. I can see that these ladies just can't wait to culturally appropriate once again. So the Bollywood party is like very exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cristina tells Jody that she fucked her daughter over coffee, and I gagged. She pretty much like she frames it very much as like, we slept together.
Yeah. But you know what? Words mean everything, and if that's what she took away from it, great. I don't have to tell you we just slept in the same bed. I'm just saying we slept together.
We were all thinking,
which is half true.
Jody at the Bollywood party. Jody avoids like Cristina, and so does Mia, because I think they're like, now that that's out there, they're like shit scared, and it's so good to see them like scared of someone else for once.
Yeah.
Then we hear about the $2,000 merchant fee again.
That's actually wild.
It's so crazy. Like, she's your friend, you're on a show, she's the only person that's supporting you at this point, and you're going to steal $2,000 from her, allegedly. Come on.
I mean, it's not like it's a little, like quick little
and
Sunday rate. Like,
it's clearly just because she knows that the husband's like
loaded,
minted, and she probably thinks that Reiko doesn't look at her statements.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, she does.
Yeah.
Of course.
Like, come on. Like, if you're spending that much money on somewhere,
it's crazy.
And if that's your daily spending anywhere.
So crazy. Mary records her new track, Poetry Emotion, about her son.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of like weird relationships with most of the kids and their mothers on this show.
Yes.
And I'm saying that as like an only child, like who grew up with my mum. Like, some of the behavior on this is weird.
Yeah. Yeah. It's making like Brooks, Marks, and Meredith look like really healthy.
Oh yeah.
They go to this party. I love the party scenes in this show where they end up at like some random like apartment, and they go to this one place, and there's like a random like hot guy in the shower. And I was like, sorry,
I don't remember that.
And then they all leave. They're all like, oh, they all run off. But I'm like, the night's just getting started.
Yeah, like
please.
there's no way I'd be running off. I'd be like, wait, I'm
Who's
interested.
that? It's very like, if the cameras weren't there, you wonder what would be going down at these parties.
Probably a lot.
Yeah, a lot of wine, sex.
And especially if they're wine drunk. Like if Ronnie was...
And then they play poker with this guy later on. And I'm like, who is this guy? This show's crazy. Anyway.
How long do you think they filmed for?
Oh, I don't know. It seems like a little while.
Because
there's
you
so
know
many parties. There is like a lot of partying in this show.
Yeah, because you know how like... You know, I know with Melbourne, we filmed over like 3 months. Like most seasons, the last season that we did...
That's pretty good. Like
3 months.
Yeah,
like, you
they
know,
get so much out of that.
Yeah. But then like Sydney, I heard like this last one went for 5 or so.
Oh, really?
You know?
Okay.
And then, but this one, like there's so many parties that it's like, how
That's because
long?
in Sydney, all those girls go away all the time.
I know.
And they let them do it.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
Naughty
Just
girls.
gotta go to Saint-Tropez. Episode 12 is called The Fur Flies. Mary tells Reiko that it's rude Mia didn't wear a sari to the Bollywood party. And I say, Mia, you're just ahead of your time, girl. Not appropriate.
But also, it's so funny how it's like she's calling her out for not wearing it. But then these women just had like a party where they wore burqas.
I know.
Like what?
For like no reason. It's so crazy. They do wear like a sip and paint, these drunks. And Cristina calls Ronnie fake to Mary, and it's like, oh, here we go. The MIA model fashion show, like Whitney Port of it all. I was dying. This like model casting thing or whatever for Mia. Wow. She's like, I like her because she looks like, they get this like skinny... It was like very top model.
I'm trying to remember like this last half of the season.
Yeah, because it kind of is a bit of a train wreck. There's this hairstylist, Chow, who I'm obsessed with.
Yes.
Who appears quite often in the show. She's later on got like this huge blonde mohawk thing. And I'm like, okay, Chow. Get her on the show. Then we do the fashion show, which is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. Like, they're just like walking down the stairs. Oh
That's
my God. It's like hilarious. Then we get Mary's charity event sponsored by Blue Tulum.
Oh my God.
At Chinois.
Did it even go into production, that drink?
I don't know, but she certainly got enough produced so she could drink a lot of it on the show. It's a tequila-based cocktail, I'll have you know.
It's all tequila with like a little bit of food dye.
I want to buy one so bad.
I just want the bottle. The bottle was tragic. It looked like something out of a Wick shop.
Yeah. Jody and Mia rock up, and then they're kicked out by Peter. I love this. This was like very Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
Just having the security kick someone out of a venue.
I kind of love when they like someone gets kicked out of something or like denied entry.
Incredible.
Because you know it's just going to kick on from there.
Oh, and you know, I was just like snapping. I was like, yes, because Mia. This is where we start to learn that Mia's kind of like a naughty girl with a bad habit.
Yeah.
And she's been getting up to some shit in those streets of Vancouver, honey.
Yeah, and even after the show did.
Yeah. She's getting kicked out of venues, hanging around with the wrong crowd. It's glass houses, these two. And I love it.
As in the glass house?
As in throwing stones. Like Jody is out there like calling everyone sluts and whores, and it's like the phone call's coming from inside the house.
Yeah.
Look
and
at,
it's your
look
daughter
at
who's
your daughter.
calling.
Yes. Calm as a bitch is the name of episode 13. And Reiko is still salty about the merchant fee, as you would be.
I'd be pissed.
I would be I'm
Amex
pissed would be onto it immediately.
I'm pissed off at a Sunday like 1.1% fee.
Same, bitch. And can we just talk about that? How that is across the board now.
Yeah.
It's fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
Saturday fee, Sunday fee.
I'm trying to pay cash with things on a Sunday.
Bitch. Yeah, it's bad. Then we get the rehab wine launch. Oh my God, the way she does like, all right, everyone, we're all going to taste it all together so I can see your reaction. I was like, oh, this is a bad product.
I would have loved to have been there.
Same.
I would have loved to have been there.
Ronnie is like a full-blown alcoholic. Like, she's just, it's amazing.
I just find it like, what did her husband and her son say about launching a wine?
I don't know, but the husband rocks up for like the first time at this event, and I was like, he's hot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Amazing. But clearly didn't want to be on the show.
No.
Which,
he was just
thank you
private
for that.
funder.
Yeah. Ronnie has been playing the middle between Jody and Mary. Mia is unwell.
Of course.
Of course. And like insane. I think this is where her and Jody like terrorize this party. Like beyond. It's like the
like
worst
two
they've
little
done.
demons.
They just rock up and they're like,
yeah.
Yeah. It's like lunch showdown. And then finally we get a Jody pile-on, which we've been waiting forever. People like don't want to hear it anymore.
People don't fuck with it for long. Like a week of it would be too long for me.
Yeah.
These girls did however many months of it. Like,
Yeah. And this
I'm
is like the
surprised.
final scene of the show where like she finally admits that like they do have secondhand stuff, and you're like, okay, great.
We know.
Ronnie demands that she apologizes to the group, and she's just not really going to do it. It's like a reality of on T's ending where they all kind of like finally turn on the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like Jody's like unmasked as the villain.
Yeah.
Like Scooby-Doo style, and everyone piles on, and you're just
I
at
think
home just snapping.
I do think Jody is worse than Monica. I
100%.
don't think Monica was a bad person at all.
No, neither. But I'm just saying, like the way the build up to it, and then
yeah.
at the end,
Yeah.
I was so happy that like it went in the right direction. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
10 out of 10 show.
Look,
No
for
notes.
season 1, where usually the first season of most shows, even mainly Housewives shows, where you're trying to get to know 8 women or 9 or 6, however
This
many.
one there's 5, which I
Yeah.
loved.
Well,
I think
they
that's
all-
a good size.
I think usually 5 to 6 is my favorite.
5 heavy hitters.
Well, I remember one season of Melbourne we had 8.
Fuck, was that with Venus? and
No,
stuff?
that was the one with Susie. Yeah,
Susie.
but like
How's she going in Bali?
no, that's Sally.
Oh,
Susie,
that's Sally.
Sally-
Oh no,
Susie Homemaker.
Susie was the homemaker of the MILF. Oh no, she was fine.
Yeah,
I know
but like
her.
they had like 8
Sorry, I
women
was
in
thinking
that,
Sally.
and
I
everyone
was
got
thinking
on well.
Susie didn't call Gina a woke bitch. That was Susie, Sally, whatever. Then we get this reunion with this like awkward homosexual.
Yeah.
I did not want to be there. Unfortunately, this reunion sucked. It was 2 parts. It was not good.
It wasn't good. I just remember it being one of those ones where you're like, okay, where is
Yeah.
the juice?
But what we do get is Ronnie telling this Days of Our Lives story about Remington and the piece of steak, which we were on the edge of our seats. We were like,
Yeah.
what? She's like, Remington ate a piece of steak. And at this point, you think like there's been a tragedy. So you're like,
Yeah.
oh my God. And then like 5 hours later, you find out that like she's fine. And you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, she's fine.
But yeah. Ronnie can get really soap actress.
Oh,
Real
yeah.
quick.
Like, she knows what she's doing.
Yeah.
She knows exactly how to play her cards
Yeah.
and bring up, like, because I'm pretty sure she was getting a little bit of it, like, drilled at her. And then she brings up this story.
And I think, it all puts everything into perspective. But we leave this season assuming that Ronnie is... Because she says, she's like, I'm never talking to you again.
Yeah.
To Jody. We leave with her going to Jody, you're disgusting.
Yeah.
Never going to see you. So you're like, great. So you kind of leave thinking, awesome. Then when season 2 starts, you're like, oh, fuck off. Because they're completely fine.
Yeah. And they're all richer.
It's... Yeah.
It was,
Well-
for a first season of any Housewives, I think we got more drama than we ever have on a lot of them.
Yeah.
Like, hatred. You know, usually it's
Venom.
like, oh, you just sort of like disagreeing on things and
Yeah.
like you're building up the characters. This one, they went in full blown, I hate that woman.
Yeah.
I loved it.
It was stunning.
Loved
it's-
it.
Well, Dan, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And I'll see you next week to talk about season 2. Bye-bye.
Bye.